let's start with that addiction is not a primary brain disorder that arises largely due to genetic reasons. The field of epigenetics, epi meaning before genetics, which is just all throughout medical science now, that's how they develop vaccines, says that less than 1% of our diseases come from our genetics. So where do they come from? Here's the Einstein quote. The field is the sole governing agency of the particle. The field, meaning the energy field. Physicists have proven that we all have energy fields or souls, so that energy field is controlling the body. Okay, so where is the disorder? In the energy field due to childhood trauma. We'll get to there in a second. And so this whole, we're going to punish someone because they had childhood trauma and they don't know how to deal with it. Well, we're having a current mental health crisis and all of us don't know how to deal with it. This is why in other countries where they focus on rehab have a far diminished recidivism rate, like reoccurrence of the crime rate, than we do here in America, because we don't solve the issue. We punish as if self-control comes from the outside. But where does self-control come from? It comes from the inside, from a regulated nervous system. And we're going to get into how to regulate, how to recalibrate your nervous system. Because this guy here in the yellow, his nervous system is calibrated for fear, guilt, and shame, lack of self-control. How do we gain self-control? We turn those wounds into wisdom, understand ourselves, understand where we're insecure, where we don't believe in ourselves. Like I had wounds that I'm replaceable. I'm the reincarnation of Mary Magdalene. Like no one is replaceable, right? But I hated myself so much that I believed that I was replaceable because of my childhood trauma. So let's keep learning about how this really works. Wow. I mean, that's amazing that we create endorphins to facilitate attachment. And that, like in my childhood, I was just told to be quiet, like, don't talk, Carrie. Like, I'm very intuitive and I'm very direct and I'm very perceptive and smart. So I'd put pieces together at a young age and just say it. Well, that just wasn't acceptable. My mom was an alcoholic. She used fear, guilt, and shame to control people. You should, and it's just. My dad was a workaholic. He just avoided and wasn't at home. So this is incredible that, the field, because the field informs the body. So when I feel hungry, my mouth salivates, right? But when there's stress and trauma in the energy field, then the particle is negatively impacted and endorphin systems don't develop. The brain is underdeveloped. What I just learned today, that you stay young by using your brain in healthy ways and being active. And that's how you stay young. So wow. Yeah, that was me. What he's talking about is the Carl Jung concept of individuation, which this is why I love Dr. Gabor Mate, because he's completely in alignment with Carl Jung. And that when, like in my childhood, I was constantly being punished and controlled for being myself. So I had to reject huge parts of myself just to be at home and attached and not get, punished and more abused. And I realized that if I asked for help, I just got more punishment. So don't ask for help. So you like the mouse not crying in the wild, like that was me. Like don't ask for help because that's more punishment. And, my endorphin system was not completely developed because of my childhood trauma. And so these people can't individuate, can't mature into healthy adults because they're so busy rejecting parts of themselves and then dealing with the pain that causes. I had 35 years of debilitating lower back pain. 35 years of my womb screaming at me to heal from my childhood trauma, but I didn't know how to listen. I did not know how to be authentic to myself because, I had that problem, lots of failed relationships. I had to be in control because I was so afraid of men. So I had to be in control, but that is not a healthy woman. So let's keep learning about authenticity and individuation, because when there's a healthy parent-child relationship, the child naturally individuates and becomes a mature, grown adult. But when the child can't individuate and can't express itself and is so busy repressing itself, that's the internal system in their energy field, their soul, that they engage in. And then that calibrates their nervous system and their hearts to resonate with fear, guilt, and shame instead of love, compassion, and enlightenment, which is a healthy, mature human being with a full range of emotions. But when you're just repressed and all you got is fear, guilt, and shame, or being quiet, and that's all you got, then your emotional range is minute and you're not a healthy, mature human being.
Parents
Let's
are
sit
not
on
so
that for a second. The mother is communicating, good kids don't get angry.